At Ballot Box, we believe every vote counts. That's why we created a platform in which you decide what initiative you want to see happen.
The U.S. locks more people up than any other country.
The solution needs to come from within the communities that have been most directly affected, women of color, marginalized communities.
It is a major step to move from being in prison to out of prison psychologically.
The ones who just tossed out, dumped into the community, they're more likely to go back.
Right now in America, there are an estimated 6 million people under correctional supervision, with almost 2.5 million in prison or jail. That's 5 times more than any other country in the world. Mass incarceration costs taxpayers an estimated $80 billion a year annually. But the real cost is something far more devastating. The physical and psychological effects of incarceration are life-altering. We sat down with formerly incarcerated people to learn what it's like coming out of prison and re-entering into a society they may not even recognize.
Nothing prepared me for prison. Nothing. I am the voice I am today because I suffered as a consequence of being in prison, and I saw the suffering of other women.
I often think about when I went to prison, I had all these things that were going on in my head that was untreated. So when you are released, not only are you leaving with the things that you've already carried with you, but you're also leaving with the trauma of incarceration.
You have the Department of Justice, which is supposed to be overseeing federal prisoners. You have the departments of corrections in every state that are supposed to oversee city and state. And yet you have reports of rape, violence, physical abuse, and a complete overuse of solitary confinement. The damage done to you and the lack of care afforded to you make it impossible to live your life in a pre-prison way ever again.
On average, it costs $45,000 a year to incarcerate one person. As of 2020, that is more than the average salary in the U.S. Recidivism rates are through the roof. Around 70% of people released end up going back.
For me, returning home was worse than prison because I was free and still in prison. You have to come home traumatized, generally without resources. You have to start reporting to a whole second system for the rest of your life in some cases, or 10 years when you had a 2-year bid in prison.
How can we expect people to reintegrate into society if we leave them with zero support?
I know people probably think if she didn't want to go to prison, she shouldn't have done anything. But there's so many circumstances that lead to women being incarcerated. And I've never met a woman that was inside that said, when I leave prison, I want to disappoint my kids again. I want to come back inside here again.
Ballot Box is partnering with Witness to Mass Incarceration to support at-risk groups re-entering into society.
Witness focuses on centering the voices of formerly incarcerated women and LGBTI people to lead the movement to abolish and end mass incarceration. We have a commitment to re-entry to make it be something that truly offers a person a second chance to rebuild their life. I came up with the notion of the Suitcase Project because I knew that people needed certain things when they walked out. MetroCard, food, clothing, computer.
I think with society oftentimes is that they think that we're asking for something extra. We're not asking for anything extra. We're asking for basic need things. Wouldn't it make sense to give them the resources that they need, viable resources, so that they can succeed?
This initiative will provide the next 1,000 women and LGBTI individuals re-entering society with a cell phone and paid transportation for 1 year.
Oftentimes, women who are coming home do not have their documents to get a job. So that would help tremendously for them to be able to go to a DMV, to go to Department of Social Security.
You cannot get a job, look for a job, unless you can apply for a job through a computer, unless you can get an email back from the job, unless you have a cell phone to call to make an appointment, and a MetroCard in New York to be able to go to it. You have to have basic things in order to get anywhere.
A cell phone and a MetroCard for 12 months for a woman or a person coming home, it's a lifeline.
We don't have the time to wait for our government to make policy changes, but we do have the power to fund programs that support direct action and results today.
Oftentimes, I hear people say, what can I do? Or how can I help? So we're giving you that opportunity now.
If we're going to do it right, let's rebuild people's lives. Let's stop reincarcerating and start reintegrating people into society. You have the opportunity to radically change the lives of people, and I hope you'll take that opportunity.
Click here to help formerly incarcerated women, to help change lives and truly give them a second chance.
Direct action, direct democracy. Go to ballotbox.world to sign up and vote for this initiative.